Assalamualaikum everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Miss Fairy Educationist. So hopefully everybody is fine. So today which we are going to discuss is Lev Vygotsky social culture theory of cognitive development. This theory is actually concerned with the social emotional growth of the children's and the domain which it's covered, or you can say the subject which is covered in the teacher education field. It is the education psychology and the child development course which we studied in first semester, and the educational psychology which we studied in fifth semester. So this topic covers the both courses, so this topic is really very important. So let's move forward with the further discussion. So hello and welcome to my class, everyone. This is me in the picture, and this picture suggests you to be familiar with me. So let's move forward. So, Lev Vygotsky's social theory. So, today we are going to begin with the introduction that as Lev Vygotsky, 1896 to 1934, was a Russian teacher who is considered a pioneer in learning in social context. As a psychologist, he was also the first to examine how our social interaction influence our cognitive growth. Exactly, this theory is actually concerned about the interaction of people in their social surroundings and how the social surroundings impact a person's emotional social growth, or you can say that how the influence of the society or environment have on a person's you can person's mind, or cognitive development or social development influence on the mind of the person. He was convinced that learning occurred through interaction with others in our communities. Like he want to say that the learning is actually done through the communities, or you can say the interaction between the peers, adults, teachers, and other mentors. But also sought to understand how people learn in a social environment and created a unique theory on social learning. Exactly, this theory is really unique because the Vygotsky is defining that how the person is learning from the social environment. As we thought that we can learn through the books only, but we can also learn through the our surroundings as well, with the peoples, with the community, with the peers, with the adults, and everyone is actually giving us a knowledge and actually developing our cognitive growth. So let's move forward. So he determined that teachers have the ability to control many factors in an educational setting, including tasks, behaviors, and responses. He is said that the teachers have actually ability. So they can control all the factors in the education settings, include all the tasks, behaviors, and responses. As a result, he encouraged more interactive activities to promote cognitive growth, such as productive discussions, constructive feedback, and collaboration with others. The main idea he is actually influenced with the encouragement of the cognitive growth through the discussion method, through the constructive feedback, through the collaboration with others, and through the collaboration with peers, with the culture, with the we can acquire the knowledge through our culture. This is the primary source of knowledge, according to him. He argued that children learn from the beliefs and attitudes modeled by their culture. So, heading towards that, ahead, what he said, Vygotsky maintained that the social world is not only the interaction between peers and their teachers, but also consistent of outside influences with the community. Exactly, it is happen when we are in a school setting and we are seeing a children who belongs to different backgrounds, and everybody has some different nature and nurture as well, and they are behaving in a different manners. However, we are providing them a school environment, but still all the students have a different background. That's why they are behaving different, because they belongs to a different community and they have the influence of that community on their personality, on their social emotional, and their cognitive growth. Prior knowledge such as learned behavior at home. Yeah, exactly, when a student is coming in a class, they have a prior knowledge that he have acquired at their home, that also impact their classroom environment. As such, Vygotsky outlined three main concepts related to the cognitive development. That is, the culture is a significant in very learning. The second one is language is the root of the culture, and the third one is, sorry, let's move on the same thing. Yeah, and the third one is individual learns and develop within their role in the community. Culture can be defined as the moral values and beliefs of its community members, which are held in place with system and establishment. So let's move forward. That according to before moving forward, according to Vygotsky, there are the three main concepts of cognitive development. That is the culture, which is very significant in learning, and second one is the language, which is actually the root of the culture, and the third one is individual learn and develop within their role in the community. That means that how they play their roles in the community, they are learning with that. So now there are the four elementary mental functions. that play in this theory, Vygotsky claimed that we are born with the four elementary mental function, that is attention, sensation, perception, and memory. It is a social and cultural environment that allow us to see these elementary skills to develop and finally gain higher mental function. Exactly, this is the four things that we actually use to acquire the knowledge. First one is that attention. We have some attention for something new, then we have some sensation, like we have some feelings about it, then we have the perception, that means that we have some thought about that thing, and at the last we have memorized that thing in our mind. This is the stages of the cognitive development or even mental development in a social setting. Okay, so this is the ZPD and scaffolding, which is the main idea of this theory. Means the knowledgeable others and the ZPD, the zone of proximal development. These are the two things in which what I can learn on my own way. This is the children who say that I can learn on my own way. Okay, then this circle is means with the children who are learning on their own way. But now there is an influence of knowledgeable others. KNO. So how they help in the KNO could be any adult, any technological tools, and ZPD is zone of proximal development, means that now the person is reached towards that he do not need the help of others. So with moving ahead, we have some further explanation of the zone of proximal development. This development ideally happens in the zone of proximal development. First, there is what we can do on our own. Then there is a zone of proximal development, which represent what we can do with the help of an adult, a friend, a technology, or what Vygotsky call the more knowledgeable other. There is what's beyond our reach. Exactly. This is defined as the zone of proximal development. Defined as that what we can do at our own, then how we can get something or what we can do through the scaffolding of others. So we have some examples for the explanation, but before the examples, we have more knowledgeable other. The more knowledgeable other AMCO is somewhat self-explanatory. It refers to someone who has a better understanding or a higher ability level than a learner with respect to a particular task, process, or concept. Also, the implication is that a AMCO is a teacher or an adult or an older adult. This is not necessarily the case. Many times, a child peers and an adult children may be the individual with more knowledgeable. But yeah, exactly. The peer could also be the more knowledgeable other for the person. If I'm trying to learn and how to ride a bicycle, but I do not know, but my peer or my friend is helping us, that the person who is younger than me also can be the more knowledgeable other for me. There is not a particular criteria for the AMCO in this theory. So let's have an example. The example is you can see the picture in which there is twins. To illustrate this, let us think of twins who are raised in a community in which boys are expected to learn and succeed, while girls are only expected to be pretty. At the age of 10 months, both have the ability to crawl and are in the zone of proximal development for learning how to stand on their feet. So the more knowledgeable mother, in this case, the father provides the boy with opportunities to practice in a playroom that he has equipped with scaffolding and other objects. The boy is encouraged with the scaffolding and other objects. The boy is encouraged to explore the equipment, and eventually he uses it to pull himself up. A few hours later, he's cruising along the structures, and a few days later, he is standing on his feet. The girl also has the potential to stand, but does not receive any supporting in learning the skill. So this is an example, a really good example, that there is a boy and a girl. You can say boy twins, a boy and a girl. The father is helping the boy and giving him the scaffolding, because they are living in a society where they have a different concern for the boys rather than the girl. So he is providing scaffolding, helping him rather than the girl. So the boy is starting on their own. Now he can stand, but girl is taking time because he is doing everything on her own. So let's move forward. When we compare the two, we see that while a girl is still trying to get up, the boy has moved into a new zone. Exactly, he knows how to balance while standing and now has the potential to learn how to walk. Both will eventually learn how to walk, but according to Vygotsky, the boy will be more skilled and more better than the girl because he is getting the scaffolding. He is getting the constantly help from his father. The same principles apply to all the learning and development of higher cognitive functions, and only those learning with the assistance of capable mentor can reach full potential of their ability. So this is it for today. So I hope you can understand the concept of scaffolding and zone of proximal development. What the Vygotsky is trying to say is that as a teacher, we are the zone of proximal development for our children. So we can help them. We can also become a scaffolding in our classroom as well. We can develop such activity with a collaboration with each other, and we can say that how the children are learning from each other. And exactly the communication and the language is the main factor that if we collaborate with each other and we will provide the scaffolding to our students, they will have more polished skills. So we are actually the ZPD and MKO for the students in our classroom. So that's it from today. Hope you like my video. If you like my video, then subscribe to my channel and don't forget to like and press the bell icon. Allah Hafiz. Bye bye.